completion. He's got such great autonomy up there, using his defense, his playmakers, and when this offense gets off to a fast start, it complements the entire team. This place at Ford Field here is on fire already.
There's got to throw it on first down, on the far side. That's a nice start all the way after the 44 as he scooted around Eric Wilson. This offense is so diverse, Tom, they can beat you really anywhere they want to.
Yeah, they have speed, physicality. It all starts with those big guys up front. You see Decker, Mahogany, Glasgow, Ratledge, and Sewell. And when you can stand back there and it's like pick your poison. You want to deal with this explosive running back in the backfield, Gibbs, or our tremendous wideouts, St. Brown and Williams. It's really tough task for this defense to slow down.
Play fake. Just set a screen the other way. Gets some room to roll that time. Laporta has another first down. That's a pretty good start. 2 quick passes to Sam Laporta for a combined 25 yards.
Always doing a good job trying to keep the defense off balance. You see it's a little action play. Goff kind of opens up to Gibbs, but no, it's not a pass, it's a screen. And now what's the defense going to defend? They throw Laporta, the screen pass, or the run game. And that's the give and take with this offense. They're always a moving target. It is so tough on these defensive players to get a real bullseye on what they're trying to hit.
Here's Gibbs, gets his first touchdown. Finds a hole, he always does. Down to the 40 he goes for a 6-yard gain. Meanwhile, going against this Vikings defense, who we know they love to blitz, the big issue for them is they spend all this money on the line, and they haven't gotten quite the level of play they had hoped.
Yeah, a lot of investment, I would say, free agency into that defensive line. The issue is they haven't been able to slow down the run game very much to elevate the ability for them to rush the passer. So they need today to build the wall against Gibbs and Montgomery, try to get this offense in a must-pass situation so they can use those exotic blitzes.
Pressure coming from Van Ginkel. Step one throws and it's incomplete. Jameson Williams, the intended target, but Andrew Van Ginkel, so good for him to be back from Minnesota. Such a key piece off the edge.
There's one area of this game that they want to get him to is third down situations where Flores can dial up some of these exotic pressures and he gets some of these hybrid players back, like Van Ginkel, who's a key to this defense. But you know Dan Campbell, he's in 4-down territory already, so they got to stop him for 2 plays here.
He kind of is when he wakes up, isn't he?
When he drinks that double vente espresso shot, he's thinking about his 4-down strategy.
Check to a play. Blitz is coming. Goff has time. Now some pressure. Throws on the line. Incomplete. So, Blitz was picked up initially, but then Cashman snuck through and moved Goff off the spot. And now it's 4th and 4. See if they go.
Yeah, pretty interesting chess match. Jared Goff checked, and then the Vikings defense checked too. It's a good little cat and mouse game they're going to play all day. They know Goff is trying to get him into the perfect play. So when Goff makes an adjustment at the line of scrimmage, that Vikings defense can make some adjustments to their coverage as well. Laporta right down the middle. They got to do with the screen and the run game. And they try to disguise their intentions in the secondary with their coverage, but they lose track of Laporta right down the middle of the field. And Goff isn't losing track of number 87 either.
That was unbelievable. I mean, he's just dragging multiple Vikings for 10 yards, and then the race at the end, we got the signal, he's in. Sam Laporta had 66 yards on the opening drive. That one goes for 40, and the extra point by Bates is up and good. Well, that's a heck of a Lions start. Go for it on 4th, convert on a 40-yard touchdown. The tight end coach loves his tight end going off on the opening drive. on a 4th and 4. Great start for the Lions, who scored the opening drive for the 5th time this year. And so now the Vikings will get it for the first time, having to answer that. J.J. McCarthy has waited patiently for his 3rd NFL start. He's about to get it. Last place on the return. Breaks through into Detroit territory and across the 40 he goes. Miles Price, the rookie from Indiana, gives the Vikings a nice little boost with a 61-yard return.
Oh, not just a nice boost, KB, a huge boost. Coming off Detroit's score, this place was electric, and now you kill some of that momentum that Detroit gained by this awesome return, in and out of blocks. Great job by their special team. Bates trying to get up there and lay the wood. I'd like to see the kicker do that.
Hey, he stopped him. So McCarthy has pretty good field position to start this drive, all the way on the Lions' 36-yard line as Aaron Jones in the backfield to start. You got to give it to Jones, trying to get the running game going. That's a good start from Aaron Jones.
First down, yes.
And he's going to have 10 and a first down as J.J. McCarthy back in Michigan. National championship with the Wolverines, and now getting a chance to kind of find out what he's about, Tom. We don't really know yet with only 2 games.
God, I love when you bring the Wolverines up. I love this young quarterback. I know he's only had 41 pass attempts in his career, but he's very patient, very smart, very decisive. I love his physical tools.
Well, this offense, you said it, right? They'd like to get the run game going. The run game was non-existent against the Chargers. Got Aaron Jones back last week. That helps. But the big issue has been there. The offensive line has not been healthy. They have had 1 million combinations. Their starting 5 has not played together once the entire year.
That's certainly a revolving door. It's hard to make this big investment like they did and not have a lot show. That's what happened. They need to be healthy. They need to be cohesive. And it's tough for an offense to get on the track when those 5 guys up front aren't playing well. They have not been off to a great start this year.
McCarthy going deep in the far center. Addison, in and out of the hands that time. As Terrion Arnold, who's back for the Lions after missing a couple games with a shoulder injury, had the coverage.
Yeah, they got man coverage on 2nd down. I see a lot of that Arnold in coverage. And Addison usually comes down with those. A perfect ball right over the left shoulder, only where his receiver can catch it. In games like this, you've got to make those plays.
Blitz coming, McCarthy zips it near side. That's a great block, and Jones springs free down to the 10. It's a 1st and goal. Brian O'Neill with an amazing block to spring him.
Love this check at the line of scrimmage. McCarthy, alert, alert, alert! They're blitzing. Let's get to the blitz beater, which is this quick little rocket screen out to their halfback. Aaron Jones gets the cavalry in front. Look at those blocks by the big fellas. 3rd and 10, they'll take that. Great conversion, a great answer to this momentum that Detroit had early.
Aaron Jones is almost as many yards on his drive as he had all last week. Quick throw, McCarthy going into the Jefferson.
Touchdown, yes.
Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, that's an answer.
It's actually a run play that's called. They decide to throw this little fade, and who needs 2 hands? Not Justin Jefferson. Puts it right on the outside shoulder, a lot similar to the one Addison had dropped, but Justin Jefferson doesn't drop him. That's why you're the all-pro. Just an absolute studded receiver for this Vikings team.
Jefferson just his 2nd touchdown of the year. You know that feels good. And a big answer for Minnesota early. The extra point is up by Reichert. And this all started because of the rookie Miles Price again.
Magic. magic more than ever.
Up is down. Left is
What?
right.
Better?
Sorry, Josh. I mean, Jason. I named you. Snickers satisfies. Let's face it, y'all need magic more than ever.
A sleight of hand masterpiece.
Down.
The magic is back.
Is right.
Full twist of surprises. The best one of the trilogy. Now you see me, now you told me, featured to see, get tickets on sale now. It is November 14th.
To this one, each team scoring on their opening drive, a couple of big plays, and Justin Jefferson's second touchdown catch of the year, a one-handed beauty. Cap off what was a shorter drive just because of the big 61-yard kick return from Miles Price. And J.J. McCarthy back in Michigan, only his third start. He's been out 5 weeks with an ankle. He looked just fine on that drive. 7-7 early as it quiets his raucous crowd, at least for a moment. We say hello to Aaron Andrews.
Hi, Kev. And as the Lions just returned from their bye week, a lot of their players saying it's full force for us now. It's go time. And as their head coach Dan Campbell told us, look, we are far from playing our best football, but we're better than we were in week 1. This is so Dan Campbell right there. Kind of saying his team is like a well-oiled machine. It's running, you hear a knock, you need to tighten a screw, tighten a belt. You still hear that knock, but we know we're close. We know it's coming. The one thing he did say, Kev, we got to win this division. These Minnesota Vikings fans are coming. The Minnesota Vikings are coming right now. Kevin, did I work the World Series last night? No, I was watching you.
I felt like we were all doing it together as Montgomery gets the carry. And by the way, I see what Dan Campbell's doing. You know, tightening the belt. He said, there's a little knock in the engine. We're in the Motor City. We're playing at Ford Field. You get it?
Absolutely, I love that. Keeping it in-house, keeping it in the family.
Well done.
Family. And I saw Mrs. Ford down there today, 100 years old. We're a big sure for this great organization, and she loves seeing this team roll. She told me that.
Back to Montgomery. Outside Gibbs, and he is wrapped up immediately. Eric Wilson has been a steady veteran in this linebacking core, and a good play to bring up third down. But Dan's point is look, they're playing good. They're 5-2, but he thinks they can get even better.
Absolutely, room for growth, and you're always looking for areas to grow. Especially you go into the bye week and you evaluate where are we at, where can we be better. Third down offense has been one of them. He said, I really feel good about our first and second down plan. It's our third down plan we need to be better at.
Yeah, they were so good on third down last year. They were fourth and late. This year, they're 22nd, only 37%. Third and long here. Blitz is coming, and penalty flags flies.
A false studs.
And the Lions moved early. As Claymore will tell us.
Claymore to the referee.
That's what Brian Flores does. He loads up the line of scrimmage, tries to trick you a little bit, and he got Laporta to move.
A lot of Vikings defenders up there, and when that offense goes down the field like J.J. McCarthy just did and ties the game up 7-7, you understand how liberating that is for a D coordinator, because you don't feel like you're down 7-0 and you got to make the perfect call. You still feel like you can be aggressive in these situations because the score is still an even score at this point.
This guy put through the cut. Looks like Jameson Williams makes the catch, and he is getting taken there. Isaiah Rodgers was all over us. That's a great defensive series by the Vikings, and they'll force a punt.
A lot of juice here on defense. You can just hear the clanking, and they come out of nowhere. They got Rodgers coming up. They got Bernard coming over. Everyone's swarming to the ball, and that's the kind of juice they need. Get the stop on defense. That's going to give them some confidence. Good by their special teams unit, offense answers, and now the defense answers. Exactly what they need here in the first quarter.
So here's the all-pro punter, Jack Fox. He has been just terrific. And gets a boomer here. Price let it go. Takes a Vikings bounce forward 5-6 yards, and Minnesota will take over. Off to a good start here today. The Vikings will have it for the second time. Get it to Aaron Jones. Got a big seam up the middle. Jones
Got the first down, yes.
already looks better this week than it did last week with 14 yards.
Yeah, one way to help out a quarterback who has not played much is just a hard downhill run. You see the pulling guard actually runs into his own guy, but with Jones being so decisive, he hits that thing 1,000 miles per hour, and Harper's got to come out of the middle of the field to make that play. They'll take that. Safety's making tackles on the backs all day. They'll take that.
No doubt. We'll say for the Vikings having Brian O'Neill and Christian Garrison actually back and starting at both tackles. That's a huge deal. Gets it over to Jones over the middle, and he's going to pick up about 5 yards. As we've got our first game break with Carissa Thompson.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Bears down 7 to the Bengals. A little trickery here. Caleb gives it to Roma Dunze, who gives it to DJ Moore and throws it back to Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson dialing up the trick play here. Bears Bengals tied at 7.
Wow, Ben Johnson run trick plays. He's got a million of them.
We see a lot in this environment.
Yeah, the NFC North is good. It really is. And the Vikings trying to get back in this race. They've got so much talent. Here is Jones again. Great cut.
Got the first down, yes.
I want to get back to McCarthy, though. We were talking to Kevin O'Connell. Great line. He said, kind of like Happy Gilmore when we got him. He hits the long ball, but we need a little bit Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus with a touch around the greens. What do you mean by that?
Well, he's developing different styles of throwing. There's a difference between a thrower and a passer. The thrower has one speed, and we call that a one ball, which is a fastball. The two ball has a little bit of touch, and you can throw guys open. And then the three is the moon ball, the high, deep one that lets those fast guys run underneath the ball downfield. He's got to develop all those. Right now, he's got a great fastball. Those other pitches, he's got to improve it.
On the lawn, looking, throwing across his body, hits one a little bit high for Naylor that time. And for more on J.J. McCarthy, why don't we go downstairs to Tom Rinaldi?
We talk so much about his mental toughness, J.J. McCarthy, but he's also mentally in tune. 2.5 hours before game time. Take a look at this picture. The only Vikings player out on the field sitting all by himself, hood up, visualization and meditation. Something he started in Michigan. He used to do it Indian style, sitting against the base of the goalpost. Now he does it on the bench for NFL games. Let's see what he can visualize here, KB. Grounded.
If it works for him, keep it going. 2nd and 10 here. Played it well. As Jack Campbell has had a sensational season in his 3rd year. Dan Campbell couldn't stop raving about his inside linebacker. One of 2 players in the league with over 60 tackles and 3 sacks. Brings up 3rd and 9.
It's a first down, yes.
Jordan Addison aware, and how about the throw from McCarthy for 31 yards?
Yeah, a great route, but they double cover Justin Jefferson. You see 2 guys on him, so McCarthy finds a single. Addison on Mollett. He just lays a good 3 ball up there. We just talked about it. To let his receiver run right underneath it. Tracks it, got to adjust just slightly. That's the kind of throw you need to make in that situation.
I guess Arnold Palmer's here after all, huh? Not just that begin work. 1st and goal out. Jefferson in motion. McCarthy looking, throw.
Touchdown, yes.
Hawkinson and Minnesota in front.
TJ Hawkinson.
Great vision and not his primary read. His primary read was Aaron Jones in the flat. You got Hawkinson coming across. He should stay on the move, but he's like, nah, it's kind of open here, JJ. Throw it back behind the defense. And I don't love when quarterbacks roll right and throw left unless you have great vision on what you're doing. And he seemed to have it because that was a very decisive throw. And that was a 1 ball, KB. That was the fastball.
That was a fastball. That was a beauty on the corner. Strike 3. I'd say J.J. McCarthy should keep.
Play. see Naylor's trying to come up and pick the man defender, but Jones, as he slips out, they end up zoning it off, and Robertson is standing as the corner underneath it. Hawkinson's running across the field, but he sees the backup safety Harper, who's actually starting today for the All-Pro Kirby Joseph, and Harper just, without all that play time in his second year, you know, sometimes you feel those things out and you read more of the offensive player Hawkinson and less your responsibilities. Taking advantage of Kirby Joseph not being in there, and great rebound.
Yeah, Joseph's such a ball hawk, missing his second straight game with a knee injury. Hey, play the Fox Super 6 NFL Challenge. Download the Fox Sports app right now. Enter for free for a shot to win your share of $10,000 in cash prizes. See the Fox Sports app for all the details. Well, Vikings haven't led in this building in a long time. Matter of fact, it was week 13 of 2021. So they have not played well here, so that's definitely a nice little start for them to have a lead here. This one, and now the Lions and Jared Goff get it back. Looking to throw. Pressure up the middle.
Gotcha.
Misidentified his pickup, and Cashman's the one that ends up flushing him. We got Pace in there on the pick. And the one spot they know they need to get to on this Vikings defense is the middle of the pocket. That's where Goff can stand there and deliver very accurately. A lot of those cross blitzes inside are effective in disrupting the rhythm and timing of the passing game, as it did right there.
Yeah, Levi Drake Rodriguez, first career sack for him, but he certainly had help as Goff was flushed right to him. And now they'll try to get Gibbs going. Gibbs gets out. That's the original line of scrimmage that time. Well, we know about the change in coordinators, right? With Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn taking head coaching jobs, and so John Morton, his first year offensive coordinator, who has experience with Detroit before. He was in Denver the last couple of years with Sean Payton, pass game coordinator, but he was here, there he is, he was here in 22, so he knows the players, he knows the system, so it's been pretty seamless him coming back.
Yeah, their relationship has been awesome with Goff, and Morton, their working relationship is so incredibly important. It's a lot of trust going back and forth between the two of them. They got it.
Third and long. Got it. So reliable on third downs across the middle doing his thing. Back to midfield for a gain of 19.
They have the perfect coverage call with Murphy inside leverage. He cannot let him get in there. The strength of that coverage is to try to keep those inside routes from being open, and Goff drifts a little bit, great pass protection, and finds his all-pro receiver. He's got a ridiculous passer rating, too. Great chemistry between St. Brown and Goff.
Yeah, the second best passer rating in the league when they connect. Tells you all you need to know.
I don't want to harp on it, but that's not great defense.
Here is Gibbs. You know, it's amazing, Tom, you talked about Jared Goff. You think he's playing the best ball of his career, and you think where he started, obviously, with Sean McVay, the #1 pick in the Rams, and got to a Super Bowl, obviously, and then traded here with Stafford. Johnson, and really was great. Now he's been better under John Morton. And look, he has grown to the point where he is so confident, knows exactly what he wants and what he's seeing in his 10th year. It's been fun to watch. Pressure in his face. Goff in trouble. Throws over the incomplete. Have to get rid of it that time because Ivan Pace had immediate pressure. But tell me about Goff and what you're seeing with him.
Yeah, it's important too, KB, when you just mentioned how can you have a better passer rating when Ben Johnson is a tremendous play caller, goes to be the head coach of the Bears, and it's because Goff has really stepped up his role. He's not just quarterback, he's part of the game planning process. He's the coach on the field, and him and Johnny Morton work together so that Jared has 100% confidence in everything they're doing. And the quarterback has ownership of that. You are determined as a quarterback to make those things work.
Pressure again. Goff in trouble. Sacked again. The Vikings are getting a lot of pressure early. Cashman and Wilson, the linebackers, combined there. And another punting situation.
Yeah, exact same pressure as the one we showed you earlier. It's just a cross pressure inside, confusing this offensive line. Ragnow, Gibbs trying to step up. Excuse me, Glasgow right there. Glasgow at the center 60. That's where they miss some of their centers, and that interior part of the offensive line has been something they've needed to replace this year. But it looks like the Vikings, they're really going after it this kind of early in the game.
Second punt for Fox. Fair catch called for out to 12. And Minnesota will take over with 31 seconds in this first quarter. There is a flag here. We'll see what the call is. Looks like it's going to move Minnesota back and get them on a hold.
Holding number 13 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, it's first down.
All right, we'll be right back after this message from Progressive.
He's just been really distant lately. Maybe he's scared of commitment or getting hurt. What do you think?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, Bridgewater, you're in.
Teddy Bridge.
Takes us to the end of this first quarter.
Such a physically dominant defense. They've got these big linebackers that play the run so well, and they're adamant about stopping the run. They usually have a +1 advantage in the box, not to mention how physical they are. Tough to just put it up there and gain a lot of yards.
Doesn't have to snap this if he doesn't want to. And he won't. So, end to one from Ford Field. Fun first quarter. Vikings looking good early, up 14-7.
That unrelenting itch. When moderate to severe eczema is uncontrolled despite treatment, get itch relief fast and skin clearance that lasts with Nemluvio blocks the signaling from IL-31, a switch that triggers key symptoms of eczema. Do not take if allergic to Nemluvio. Serious reactions may occur.
Definitely here. First things first. Here is thought processing overstimulated. Beautiful.
But you know what? J.D. McCarthy has never played here as a player, so that's a little different. And he doesn't care about it. Gets away. Somehow now he's taken down for a sack. There is Derek Barnes who finally brought him down.
Pressure by Muhammad on the right side. Kind of takes his way out of it, and these Vikings quarterbacks have been dealing with pressure all season long, and you're not going to get out of the grasp of Barnes. He's too athletic. A good job extending the play to a degree. They're going to need better protection than that today.
chance at it. Instead, they'll be playing for their own end zone.
Yeah, sometimes in those situations, that effective throw and catch just gives that punter some breathing room. Now he's back up against his own end line. And then what can that really lead to in terms of, you see that punter's heels are already at the back of the end zone. Not much margin of error in order to try to back this kick returner, the punt returner back off his own midfield stripe.
Khalif Raymond waits back deep. He's got 3 punt return touchdowns in his career. He is dangerous. Short kick 2. Raymond looking for room. He can go. And the Vikings cover him up, but not before it gets down to the 35. So after a short punt, Raymond with the return of 13, and the Lions in business. Great field position when we come back. Hutchinson, 11 from Stranger Things. New Stranger Things coming out, by the way. See, Aiden's still got like the Halloween costume vibe with the... That's scary. That's a big dude.
That's a perfect costume. He plays like an 11 out of 10 every single snap.
Oh, I see what you did there. We need to get a side-by-side of he and Jackson Dart with like the face paint, the Anakin Skywalker situation. All right, Lions get great field position after that defensive stand with the ball. Here's foul on play pass. Sam LaPorta's had a big start to today. He's going to pick up 5. Cashman brings him down. LaPorta's already got his 4th catch today for 71 yards.
And this offense has just been a little bit out of rhythm so far. They haven't quite found much in the run game, not much explosives, and the receivers haven't really touched the ball exactly the way the Vikings defense wanted to start this game.
Here's Montgomery. That's up the middle of the heat. Montgomery trucks over someone right at the first down marker. Got through Metellus. You know, it's interesting, this dynamic with the running backs they have. Obviously, they play both, and it's a little bit of thunder and lightning. But there have been a couple times when they haven't gotten Gibbs going super early. And even though Montgomery's not as fast or speedy, he does give them a little juice when he comes in.
Sure does. He's just so physical, KB. It takes on that whole mentality of the offense. They get to him, and they all want to block hard for this guy to see what he's doing.
Really good. He didn't need much. He needed about a half a yard. He didn't get much. Waiting to see if he got it, and he does. So they'll move the change with Montgomery.
You need to get one of those fancy virtual measurements that I've been seeing on TV so much.
Have we had one?
No, I think, well, maybe one last week. You know, it's the eye in the sky come down, and
yeah,
I love using the tech for sure. Trying to get it right, because all these inches are so important. Unlike last night's World Series game, inches the side of the world champion.
Sure did. There is Montgomery again. John Smoltz is back on his couch watching his Lions today. So, John, you witnessed and called a heck of a game with Joe Davis last night, man.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And KB, you're going on, I don't know, 3 hours of sleep. We gained an hour, but somehow you lost 5 hours of sleep.
Oh, it was so fun, though. What an amazing night. It really was.
It's an incredible game. And got the Bo Jackson who's next to me right next to you.
Oh, Bodie.
He starts calling balls and strikes. They want to be patient today. He's worked a lot of baseball games over the last month.
I say Miguel Rojas for a pass. Here's Goff. Goff away from the shot. Throws it in the front. And Montgomery breaks the tackle. Look at Montgomery with first down. How in the world did that work? Amazing.
Incredible by Goff. Getting out of Bernard's way. How does he do that? Just dodging, and Monty's doing the same thing on the other end. Murphy coming up a little out of control. He brings a lot of juice to this offense. Maybe it's not the dynamic, explosive 8-yard touchdown hits, guys, but this guy's an absolute workhorse. What a play. But both their huge culture drivers, Goff and Montgomery.
That was pretty amazing. Dan Skipper's in the game. Big number 70. There you go, Joe. He catches passes, too. Goff goes for the first line. He's a smidge short. Going to be down at about the 1.5-yard line. Second down.
Nice tight window throw. That was a run play. And Goff said, nah, coach, I'd rather try to throw a touchdown pass from the 10-yard. I like the way you think, Jared. The backs don't like the way you think. But the receiver and the quarterback like the way you think.
They stay with the jumbo formation here. Piled up, played well in inside. There was nowhere to go that time. They've even lost the yards. Levi Drake Rodriguez led a charge that time. Brian Flores.
So good, just caving in this entire side of the line of scrimmage, and you see there's nowhere for Montgomery to gain a head of steam. He's just running into a wall of Viking defenders.
So they can get a first down. I mean, it's inside the one to get a first down. So it's basically 30 goal. Looking for St. Brown. Double move, and they just couldn't connect. And now what do you do?
It is so hard to throw touchdown passes. When you're inside of the 2-yard line, you got 11 guys on defense. They tried this creative out and up. Right on the goal line on Rodgers. It's a terrific throw. It's just, 4 inches too far for St. Brown.
So now, jumbo formation. Keep in mind, 3 of the tackles for the Lions have caught touchdowns. So literally anything's in play right now. And we get a timeout. Vikings will talk things over after getting the look. And with that timeout, we bring you up to the broadcast booth and say hello. So Lions trying to tie this game up. They've got a 4th down. They actually scored their touchdown on a 4th and 4 earlier. And, Minnesota, they look like a different team today. They haven't been playing so great. They've had a bunch of injuries, and they look good today.
Yeah, it looks like they simplified a few things on defense. Not quite all those exotic pressures, but they're really pounding that inside part of the pocket for the Lions offense, and they're just punching Jared Goff right where that's the one way to disrupt him is get right at him and knock his feet off. So that disruption has gone very well by Coach Flores in this defense, and this is another great opportunity for them to make a stand here early in the game. Understanding that physicality of the line of scrimmage is always important. Every game it comes down to physicality, and so far, through 20 minutes of the game, Minnesota has won that physicality battle on both sides of the ball.
4th and a long one. 51.
They believe in physicality, and it's just a simple inside run. The defensive end, Redmond, has a shot to make the play. Comes off of the block by Decker, but that too much momentum for Montgomery. The low pad level, the leg drive. A 1.5 yards. So give it to that culture driver. Get the guy who sets the tone in that running back room, and for the team of toughness, availability, dependability. They count on it for so many reasons. Great to see him punch that one in.
Lions, they go for it on 4th down a lot, and they score. It's their 5th touchdown on 4th down. 2 of them today. It's the most in the league. And now an extra point to try and tie things up. Montgomery, really a good drive for him. Here is Bates up and through, and we are tied.
Michigan in 2021. First time facing off against each other in the NFL, guys. Aiden Hutchinson saying this week, it's going to be exciting to see him. We have a great relationship. No texting this week. Didn't hear from JJ about the big contract, but Aiden Hutchinson telling our Carissa Thompson this week, I'm excited to say what's up to him, and I hopefully get to do it a couple times. It'll be fun. I'd love to respectfully give him a few hugs in this game.
Oh, yeah, sure, respectfully. We get it there. We'll see. Hutchinson's having a great year, too. His place is another big kick return in this game. This time out across the 25 to the 26. Well, I don't know what kind of hug this is, but Hutchinson has already got a number of pressures in this game. Had a clear shot. Oh, looks like a little bit more than a hug.
A little love tap. Just remind you, I'm here.
I think we know he's here. He's 6'7", 275 or whatever he is. He just got rewarded this week with a massive contract. And, it's just great to see him back, Tom. We did the game in Dallas last week where that vicious broken leg and he's back, and I think playing better than ever. So it's awesome for Detroit. That big 97 envelope. All right, so here are the Vikings and McCarthy. Here's what he does. Looking, doesn't pull the trigger, and now he's a trigger. He's going to be taken down. gets back to the original line of scrimmage there. Did he have anything there?
Yeah, I thought he had Justin Jefferson right away, but he outflanked Anzalone to the flat. And he gets frustrated for Jefferson. It's just this bootleg, and just keep it to him right there. As soon as he crosses that blue jersey, put the ball out, gain 5 yards, stay ahead of the sticks, and take off. You know, those hits, those add up. Coming off an ankle sprain, those are ones you want out of his hands.
Looks like it's going to be a hold against Detroit.
Miscommunication right from the start.
Starting the snap, full start.
Oh, he jumped too early.
Second down.
Yeah, you heard can, meaning he's changing the play, and I heard someone say, what's the
Naylor jumped too early.
Tell him, it's 15-15, which is obviously a run. And then the cadence, I mean, is that a problem? That's a big problem. They're one guys on the same page. They're definitely not living on that play.
Good question. What it means is second and 15.
There's 70,000 people. How do you answer that? You can't hear anything.
McCarthy out of fake. Gets it out to Jones.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. First down. Yes.
Where was everyone that time? Aaron Jones has snuck out and he picked up 31.
Absolute great play design. The man coverage player is Anzalone on the other side of the field, but you lose track on that kind of cross release in the backfield. Great design by Jones. Campbell can't get out there. And that's a nice 2-ball.
I was going to say, that's
a 2-ball.
The 2-ball, right?
You can't throw him a fastball. You got to throw him open over the top of the defensive end. And get it to Aaron Jones in open space. That's a good play. I like those plays.
31 yards, first and 10. That was a fastball. Justin Jefferson makes a catch. Look out on the sideline. And we get flagged back by the quarterback. So hang on a moment.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Detroit number 97. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So, I don't know, maybe this was more than a bump.
It looked like he beat him on the inside move and maybe fell into his legs. I couldn't quite see it. There wasn't so much contact. One-on-one with the left tackle, Darasol. He gets beat inside and it looks like a little leg whip.
Yeah, you can't do that. Fans don't love it here, but that is the right call according to Dave Blandino, who was here.
That's what JJ says. We were former teammates, right? No, not today.
Not right now. We were training down. That is the pass. Stands in. Goes to the corner. Blocked by Jefferson. Another good throw, and Jefferson's got a first down. McCarthy is humming in this first half.
And why should the Vikings fans be excited? Because these type of throws, long, deep out cuts to the field, are the hardest throws to make. When you got Justin Jefferson on the little post corner move, you got to make one of those one-ball throws. And closing our boy Tommy Rinaldi down. And Tommy, you don't need to be a blocking dummy. Stay away from those guys. They're big.
Vikings on the move. It is Jordan Mason. Stretch the left. Mason, I think there's something there, but Lions came up to play it well with the great Brian Branch.
And here's a little bit of the, I don't know, in Karate Kid they say sweep the leg.
Let's bring on Dean Blandino. Dean, this is the correct call here, right?
That is. It's exactly what he does. He's going to kick his leg out. It's either a trip if he lifts it or if he swings it and makes forcible contact. That's a foul.
Teammates get involved. Minnesota put together a nice job. That helped. Short D, though, that's third long.
Again, I like the idea, though, what I'm seeing from McCarthy. A lot of the alerts, a lot of the cans, clapping for the center, really trying to be authoritative here early in the game with his offensive line, with his skill talent. He's given everybody a lot of confidence on the sideline, and he's in control. For a guy that's only played 2 games, I'm very impressed so far.
Oh, we got a penalty flag.
There's a penalty too. There's no foul on the play for an offensive hold. There's no foul. It's 4th down. Wow, pressure from everywhere that time. Campbell came right up the middle on the blitz.
Campbell ran right through Mason. That was, okay, this is a contact sport right there. Campbell, 46, running through him. And Coach Shepard, deep corner, says, yeah, if we want to see anyone in a dark alley, we want Jack Campbell there with us. Not that I ever want to see anyone in a dark alley or a well-lit alley. No. Or a bowling alley, no, I say.
Oh, wait, nice flip. Plus 14, though, so here's Will Reichert off a 50-yard try. And this kick is up.
Need a field goal. Successful field goal.
So Minnesota will take the field goal. 50 yards and Reichert back in front they go.
If I'm serving fruit platters at Halloween instead of the traditional candy bars, but
I mean, let's say he didn't leap over the guy. Let's take it easy. Pretty good. He did a nice job. Here is Sanders. And up to the 29. Well, the Lions, we know one thing. They like to move guys around, right? A lot of pre-snap motion for them, and it works.
a lot of motion, creates some confusion on the defense. They have to adjust late to new strengths of formations. And they're also getting indicators. Gibbs goes out, comes in, he knows it's zone coverage, and then he throws a strike in zone coverage, a perfect runner's ball, and Laporta does the rest. Good execution, good use of motion. All those things are indicators to Goff so that he can anticipate what's to come after the snap.
Here is Gibbs. Oh, he's taken down immediately by Javon Hargrave. Those are plays Minnesota hasn't seen enough of this year. They gave big money to Hargrave and Jonathan Allen, and that was a big-time play.
Yeah, Hargrave splits the double between Mahogany and Decker, and you're counting on 2 guys to be on him. Instead, there's 0. Miscommunication up front allows for a negative play. I love the way this Vikings defense is being very aggressive today, making this Detroit offense a bit uncomfortable from what I've seen.
Puts up the middle. Goff sees it, gets it to St. Brown. That's usually a good idea. St. Brown up to the 35. Be a 3rd down, about 4. Let's go downstairs to EA.
Tom Rinaldi not the only one grinding it out. When Penny Sewell was over on the bench the entire time, the training staff and doctors working on his left eye, guys, they were flushing it out. At first we thought they were trying to get some turf out, but you see that redness under that eye? It looks like he was poked, scratched. He was trying for a while to see if he could see out of it. He's back out there. Those guys are so tough.
Yeah, these big, strong guys, but man, you get poked in the eye, nothing. Boy, that stings. But he is cutting through it. 3rd down. Blitz. I'll tell you, Harrison Smith in his 14th year is still getting it done. One of the best blitzers of all time. And the Lions, another 4th down, they're going to punt it again.
Yeah, another 3rd down by the Lions that's just unproductive. They get a max pressure. Harrison Smith unblocked. Goff knows it. And he just can't manipulate his arm enough to get the ball around him. And nice pass defense. I'm telling you, this Vikings defense came to play today. They got a lot of juice. There's a lot of flavor going on today.
Yeah, they pressured Goff 47% of his dropbacks. A lot of pressure. Here's Fox to Price. Price comes for the catch. Traffic there, but the rookie hauls it in. So the Vikings get it back, up 3. J.J. McCarthy playing well in his 3rd NFL start, back in Michigan.
Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with Ebglyss.
Indiana continues his Heisman campaign against Penn State. Big noon kickoff, 10 a.m. Eastern. Then it's Indiana, Penn State. Big noon Saturday. Only on Fox. What a story Indiana is this year. All right, so So 17-14 Vikings here at Ford Field. It looked like a different team than they had the last few weeks, getting J.J. McCarthy back. And a 3-point lead, 3:13 to go in this first half. Aaron Jones in the backfield, 83 yards total for him. That's a season high. False flags.
Offense number 71, 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Christian Darrisaw, the left tackle, who has been still kind of battling coming back from an ACL injury last year. He's been kind of in and out of the lineup. Left last week's game. And I'll tell you what, Tom, when he's in there, when he's healthy, he's one of the best there is. So just having him out there is big.
That's a whole different lineup when he's playing well. O'Neal, the right tackle as well. And said they made investments with Jackson, Randall. They need that inside, that interior play well. Allow their tackles to give this young quarterback some time to diagnose these coverages.
Jones, big seam right, so as it ends up only getting a yard. What do you like about J.J. McCarthy today?
Well, he's done 3 great things, I thought. Kevin O'Connell referenced these on the calls. This is what I need him to do really well. I want him to get the play called in the huddle well, handle the line of scrimmage operation, use our alert system to get us in a good play, and then when he throws it, use a really good base and make an accurate throw. All 3 of those things, he's done an exceptional job today through this first half.
81 yards, 2 touchdowns for him.
You got penalty flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Yes!
No, that's the rule. I don't think any of us like it. And if this was not a foul 10, 15 years ago,
Campbell got roughing the passer.
It's very, very difficult when you're going full speed like that. I don't like the call, but by rule, it is a foul.
Right, but it stinks. How about that?
Very difficult, very technical. And I think the challenge I don't like about it is you take such a good defensive play and a bad offensive play by not picking up the pressure, and you reward the offense 15 yards.
Yeah, that's certainly a big play. 2:07 to go. Right here, miscommunication, and it's going to be dropped for a second.
Yeah, we reached into minute 1.
Handled pressure well today. I mean, 6 of 6, 63 yards. It's really nice.
So good too, KB, because again, not playing in 5 weeks, you really don't understand the speed of the game and how that impacts how quickly those linebackers show up, how quickly that defensive end shows up. Catch it, throw it. That's what the kind of game plan Kevin O'Connell's designed today. McCarthy's done a great job executing it.
Second and 1. From that edge. McCarthy still pressure. Steps away. Throws on the line. Incomplete. Jefferson was wide open, but throws sailed on it. Now 3rd and long.
That was the 1 ball. He gave him 1 ball, KB. Inaccurate 1 ball. But could have used a little more of a 2 ball right there. Just a little touch. Drop it in over the top to get it to Justin Jefferson. You can see his arms underneath him. That point of the ball is up. He never quite gets on top of it. Where that point of the ball is down and it could drop in where he needed to.
Tony Shepard, the defensive coordinator for Detroit, first year. 30-13 Minnesota. Here comes Andy Hutchinson. Launches out.
Oh, we got a penalty flag on the field. Oh no! It's an interception.
Everywhere on the field.
I think it's going to be called against the defense. I think it's going to be called against Hutchinson.
Back check who's going to throw another
Before the
one.
pass was thrown, illegal contact.
Yes! Robinson got illegal contact.
A lot of contact. This team does technically, I mean, typically when you do have 40% man coverage, you do get a lot of hands and grabbing and what you saw right there. Sometimes you get away with those, sometimes you don't. Robertson probably gets away with that 80% of the time. But in this situation, pretty critical on third down.
You can do it for 5 yards.
Yeah.
After that, it's a penalty, so that's the right call. Aiden Hudson's been back for every play, by the way. You saw that. But the penalties are certainly hurting Detroit. And first and 10 for the Vikings. Play fake. McCarthy, more pressure. Throws it away. Heavy pressure that time. Al-Quadin Muhammad is having an excellent year. Pass rush specialist. Fifth highest pass pressure rate in the league, actually. He's a guy that wasn't even sure to make the team. You know, Kelvin Shepard's told him in the preseason, hey, I'm going to tell you what you have to do to make the team.
Yeah, really praised him, didn't he? I mean, he's so impressed by the roles. This guy's a veteran player. I put him in the preseason. He's out there making plays. Really earned the respect of his teammates. And it's been a great 1-2 punch with Hutchinson on the other side of the ball. A lot of work, the extra work goes to Hutchinson. Allows these other pass rushers to get their one-on-ones.
38 to go. Second and long. One pressure to Carney. Take it to the end. And it's caught by Jefferson, who just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Aiden Hutchinson, a man possessed. He got his hands on that one. He's got 5 pressures, a tip pass, and a backfield every time.
Yeah, dependable Mutombo right here. Oh, no, that's off his helmet.
Still counts.
Still counts past the fence. And luckily, he gets right into Justin Jefferson's hands. Reverberating through the impact zone of the helmet. You couldn't do that if you tried. JJ, I could get 1,000 of those. See if you can do that one more time.
Under a minute. Third and long. 4-man rush. McCarthy zips over the middle.
Oh,
Arnold has his hands on it. What's the signal? Fighting for the ball that time was Jalen Naylor. Still waiting for a call here. I thought Arnold had it.
Yeah, looked like he did. The ball was slightly behind him on the back hip. And Arnold went in there and grabbed it.
Still waiting for a signal. The Lions come out with it. It looked like Arnold had it first. If it's a tie per se, the offense gets it. But I really thought first glance that Arnold had it first. Let's see.
Had him open and the ball's on his back hip.
But right here is where he takes it.
Controlled. No, it's not controlled.
this is an incomplete pass.
Looks like an INT.
This is close, Tom.
Yeah, just he's got him open, and again, that's just a D throw when it's behind him like that.
Did it hit the ground, too?
After a true discussion, the ruling on the field is an interception by Detroit. First down.
So Craig Morgan.
No.
Arnold in good coverage, and it just forces these tight window throws, and McCarthy closing behind him.
Is an interception by the defense. That play is now under review.
Yeah, it's reviewed to see if it's going to hit the ground. Obviously, it doesn't look like, oh man, I don't know. Naylor's got his hands on the ball there too.
Well, this is interesting. So, first of all, this would be Arnold's first NFL interception if it holds. Second of all, they ruled interception, which is big, Dean, because that means upon looking at this, they got to have evidence that it's not, correct?
That is exactly what I was thinking. As they were discussing it, this ruling on the field is going to be key because to me, it looks like an interception. I don't see enough to change this. They can make it a catch, they could make it incomplete, or they could leave it an interception. To me, I would leave it an interception.
Just simultaneous possession of the ball. Who's that? You know, in baseball, tie goes to the runner. What about in football?
Tie goes to the receiver, but for simultaneous, to be truly simultaneous, they both have to gain control at the exact same time and complete it, the process of the catch at the same time. I don't see this as simultaneous.
Yeah, I thought Arnold did have it, and upon looking at the replay, in my opinion, even though the ball hit the ground, I didn't see the ball move. I think it's an interception.
Let me see one more time. It's just like he's got control of it as he goes to the bottom of the stuff against his leg. And I think Naylor kind of pulling his arm around it gives the ref something to look at. Obviously, Arnold looks like he got the pick in a tremendous play. So tight for these refs to understand that.
Well, Arnold just back today, missed the last couple of weeks with a shoulder injury. They thought he'd be out for a much longer period of time.
After we do it.
Arnold's first NFL interception, and that was a heck of a play. And big, because Minnesota had momentum. They had the ball move up by 3, and now the Lions with all 3 timeouts. They have time to do some damage here. I think a pretty good job, too, by Clay Martin and crew. Great job. Very discussive. That was not an easy call, but I think they made the right one.
Great job. A lot of gray area. That ruling on the field becomes so important. It's a huge play. With the Vikings getting the ball, coming out at halftime, they would have loved to secure that possession all the way to the end of the half and put some points on the board. Now it flips, and the Lions get a great opportunity with 3 timeouts. Not much field they have to go for Jake Bates to be in field position to kick one of those incredible kicks that he's made since coming in the league.
Yeah, they need 20 yards, but I'm sure they'd like more than that. With 47 seconds left, here's Goff. Just missed him that time.
Yeah, great read. Just have not seen that much from Jared this year. You see, as soon as it releases from his hand, he knows, oh, God. I had my guy wide open. Would have got quite a bit of it. Watch him as he releases it. He knows he's not in great position. His hands kind of drop. Those quarterbacks know as soon as it leaves your fingertips, it's going to be complete or not.
In trouble. That was Gibbs who caught that time. Van Ginkel all over him. It's funny, Goff told us on the call this week, he's like, man, every time I'm throwing a screen, I got to watch for Van Ginkel because he intercepts those all the time. Play stopped 34 seconds ago with a timeout on the field. And let's check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. As the team moves the desk into position, we're gearing up for an electric Verizon halftime show. A busy morning with 5 division leaders playing. Terry, Howie, Michael, and Julian Edelman take their seats. Stick around for the Verizon halftime.
Looking good, guys. Can't wait for that. Lions called their first timeout with 37 seconds to go, but it's a 3rd and long here. What's coming? Everybody is. Goff in the middle. Incomplete. Vikings pressure has been a big story today, and they get to Goff again. And they're going to get this ball back with 2 timeouts.
Absolutely. This is just great cat and mouse game with Flores' defense. These defensive players, you see it. Sometimes they all get up there and simulate the blitz and drop out. And then they're doing a good job making it look like they're going to drop out, and boom! They just come and hit you on the snap, and they show up in Goff's face. His feet are ill-prepared to make an accurate throw, and that's another win for the Vikings defense.
There's Fox to punt it away. To the 10, and 21 seconds to go with 2 timeouts. See if they decide to do anything. Meanwhile, we'll be right back after these messages.
Some people might give you 1 pizza for $9.99. Little Caesars gives you more because more is better. It's Little Caesars' new More for $9.99 menu. Get 2 of your faves for only $9.99. The More for $9.99 menu for a limited time.
Pizza. Lowe's knows tackling projects now means you can football Sunday.
Ready?
It's Saturday.
Dave's ready.
We fine, Dave.
Let's go.
Plenty of runtime, and it's even got turbo mode.
That's what they called me in college.
I bet they did.
Well, the Vikings have a 3-point lead, 21 seconds to go, and they have 2 timeouts, but they're backed up. I just wonder if they'll be content taking this to the house because they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. This would be a perfect time to kneel on it. They lower their 3-point lead. That's all you can ask for going on the road in this Lions den of an environment with a quarterback who hasn't played in 5 weeks. Still better execution for both teams on offense. Certainly the pass protection scheme from the Lions looks a little vulnerable today. That's very unsettling as they run in for halftime. And Can they Vikings string it together for another 30 minutes?
Find out.
What a game.
Fun first half. Time to get more stats with Geico as we take a look at the numbers from this first half. And J.J. McCarthy playing well. Lions got a couple fourth down touchdowns for them. Big plays to Sam Laporta. Penalties that hurt Detroit in this one, but pretty evenly matched game with the Vikings up by 3. Good first half. And a lot of action to cover at the break. But the guys, Kurt Menefee in LA with the fellas. The Verizon halftime show starts now.
Welcome to the Verizon Halftime, the NFL, powered by Verizon 5G.
Upstairs to Aaron.
So what does Dan Campbell want to see, Kevin, out of his defense here as they get out onto the field? He said, first of all, the penalties have absolutely killed us, and some of them are out of our control. He said, we just need to line up, go out there and play. He said, of course, the way they ended that first half with that interception was absolutely huge. But he said, J.J. McCarthy has given this team some life. We knew we would get their best shot. I asked him about countering that pressure by the Vikings defense. He said, this offense has opened up Pandora's box. We are killing ourselves. We need to do a better job with the communication. Calm down and clean it up.
Calm down. I like that, Evan. Good advice. So here's McCarthy and the Vikings with Aaron Jones up the middle. And Jones had a nice day as we go downstairs to Tom.
Well, KB, Kevin O'Connell really pleased with the return of J.J. McCarthy, how he's played and how he's executed. In particular, when the first progression hasn't been there. Pleased with his fundamentals and body control. Defensively, it's the push they're getting at the center of that line that Tom has been stressing this entire game. We talked about it with us before this game started. Can we match their physicality, their belief that they win getting off the bus, the physical battle? We need to continue to do that in the second half.
Definitely been a big factor. Here's Jones again. Tries to get to the receiver. He's not going to get there. It'll be a third down and short.
Center coming out of the second half, getting that ball in Aaron Jones' hands, who had a great first half. They know that they don't want to make this all a passing game. All these runs are hopefully going to set up some play action explosives down the field to Justin Jefferson. Aaron Jones seems to hobble a little bit. He doesn't look like he can quite open on those perimeter runs, but they try those first 2 downs, getting in short yardage.
Penalty flags. Mason's not going to get
Oh, penalty flag.
We'll see what the penalty is. Detroit saying it's going to move on back. And you talk about Jones. He did look a little hobbly coming off the field. He missed 4 games with a hamstring. Came back last week.
On the defense. On the nose tackle.
Yes, he jumped too early. Yes. He jumped offside.
That's the 4th defensive penalty on Detroit.
He did it. He jumped offside.
Given all the Vikings first downs.
Yeah, those are just get out of jail free cards in Monopoly. Just regardless of what the offense it does, you give them those free penalty yards, easy first downs. Now they're on to the next set of downs. That defense is no longer, the Lions offense is off the field. That's right where the Vikings want to play.
Blitz coming, going deep, far side. Down the field, Anderson incomplete. Brian Branch, excellent coverage that time. Branch is so good. I know you love him. You call me raving about it if you watch him on film.
I think he's one of my favorite players in the NFL. His play style is one thing, but he can literally do it all. Blitzes and blows up things in the backfield. There he is, one-on-one with Addison, who would be on a lot of teams their #1 receiver, but matched up stride for stride in coverage. That flexibility that he gives you is unmatched in the NFL.
You saw Aaron Jones is now trying to attempt to be checked out. We'll keep an eye on that. McCarthy going to keep it here in his own lead, diving forward. And out to the 50 he goes, which will make it a third down at about 3.
Nice play call by Kevin O'Connell. Again, just keeping that defense slightly off balanced. Here comes Jordan Mason in the game. Are we going to give it to him? No, we're going to pull it. And then
behind Naylor that time. Lance was all over him again, and now see how aggressive Kevin O'Connell wants to be, and it looks like he's going to send the punt team out.
Yeah, very good in man coverage. They kind of ran an angle route, and that Detroit defense kind of sloughed off into that short to intermediate area. See right here, the linebackers kind of hanging underneath it. He's behind them, and that's the second throw that we've seen with that point of the ball up in the air that sails away from him. Got to do it as a passer. You got to get on top of the football with your hand to make sure the point's down, and you can deliver that ball more accurately.
Fair catch inside the 10. Lions will take over. Let's see if they get their offense going. First drive, 17-14 Minnesota.
So you want to put the heavier items on the bot.
Arkansas. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by GMC. We are a professional grade.
Well, there you go. Brian Flores' defense has really done a nice job today. A ton of pressure on Jared Goff and the Lions offense, and their D-line has played maybe their best game of the year. And they're blitzing a little bit less today than normal, but they're getting more pressure. Talk about Flores. There used to be this old video game NFL blitz. It's the Brian Flores blitz because he does it second most of anyone. 46% blitz rate on the year since 2023, right? I mean, he does it all the time because it works. See, Jared Goff, though, against Flores has had a lot of success coming into today. But today, not even the case. He's done a good job mixing FC today. Just 2 of 6, 14 yards, a 42 rating. That is a much different story. And Flores actually blitzing a tick less today. There's Goff. Could not complete it. And another third and long. They've been in these a lot today.
Yeah, struggling, but when in doubt, throw it to Amon-Ra. That's what's on Goff's mind. Looking for his best guy, and he always comes down with those. He knows he should make those plays. Tight window, yes, but when your team needs it the most, down 3, division opponent at home, you need a spark. Those are the ones you got to come up with between quarterback and wideout.
Tom, here's where the Lions are a little bit last year. They were so good on third down last year. This year they're 22nd in the league. Today they're only 2 of 8 on third down. Third and 8, another blitz. Get it out in the front. Gibbs makes a man miss. Another. And he's going to be still short. And now a flag. You see they're coming into the screen. There's going to be a 4th down and about 2. But let's see what the penalty is. That's Penei Sewell. We can't.
That was a massive hit by Penei Sewell.
Holding, offense number 61. Penalties decline. Result of the play is a 4th down.
Yeah.
Another penalty on the Lions. There is no 61. Maybe they meant Glasgow.
Watch this on Cashman. It's out there. Talk about athletic in space, and holy cow. Oh my goodness. Great job. Obviously, Cashman doing a great job just withstanding that, but it's getting thrown out of the club.
The question is, where was the hole?
Yeah, I mean, that was a penalty.
Was that it, Dean? Is that what they're, because there is no 61 on the Lions. Was that what they were looking at, the hole?
No, based on where the back judge threw the flag, and now he's in talking to the referee. Like you said, there's no 61. I didn't see a hold on that play.
Looking at that replay, I didn't either. So I guess they're going to have discussion to see. I mean, look, he was short. Yep. So it would have been 4th down, and you think they're going to punt, even though you never know with Dan Campbell anyway. And that Sewell's okay, kind of grabbing that left
Correction
shoulder.
on the last play, there was no foul for offensive holding. The result is right here, 4th down.
You know what? Hey, Clay Martin did a good job having a conversation today and kind of getting the right call, like they did in the Terry Arnold interception. So to get it right there again, and it'll be a punt. 3rd 3 and out for the Lions today. Don't see that very often for them. Absolutely booming kick. Oh my gosh, inside the 30. What a punt that time from Jack Fox. He is an all-pro, 54 yard, no return. The Minnesota Minnesota up by 3 gets it back.
Bye.
Always that way. Take pass here. McCarthy sips it too. Jefferson makes the catch, falls down, gets up, adds a few more. Injury news. We'll go downstairs to Tom.
Good start to that drive, but not good news. Aaron Jones, you'll take a look here at the hit that he takes. Maybe you referred to it dealing with the hamstring issue earlier, but you see all that weight coming down on the shoulder. Medical staff working on it. He's been in the tent for more than 10 minutes of real time right now. Questionable return with that shoulder.
Man, he's got 90 yards of scrimmage. He's so good when he's healthy, but that hurts. So it's going to be Jordan Mason's show for now. We'll get him here. Trying his way forward with pretty good effort, actually. He's getting about 4 yards. But back to the physicality. It feels like they have done that today.
Yeah, look at that. That last run right there. Just straight downhill run right to the defense, and they end up gaining 6 yards. You don't see that against the Lions defense. That is a purposeful strategy today by the Lions, by the Vikings, saying, guys, if we go in there today, we cannot be out physical. We got to win that matchup. Every guy up front is challenged to do that. And they've answered the challenge so far in the first half.
Ball is... What happened there? The ball was jumbled in the snap, and then McCarthy was able to save it and just fall on it.
Yeah, they were running a little toss play, and the center was moving really hard to the right. As a veteran quarterback, I always knew the plays where my center was moving violently to one direction, and Crandall, McCarthy not on the same page. Some of those things you learn as a veteran player, when my guys are moving violently, aggressively, I got to stick in there a little bit longer. You get there.
Justin Jefferson goes down to get it, and it's a first down.
Got the first down, yes.
Ridiculous. It's an out cut, one-on-one, fully laid out. Very similar to the one that Amon-Ra didn't make.
We're going quick, just in case the challenge comes out. You know the challenge came out. I thought on first look, and even the second look that he caught it.
Yeah, but
worth a look for Dan Campbell, I think.
And good job getting to the line of scrimmage by the Vikings offense. And you always have calls when you think it's close. We would use Peter. And if everyone run to the line of scrimmage, we're going to end up trying to rush to the line of scrimmage before they can review the play. And that's what they did right there. Get up there. Okay, go. And then force the Lions to figure out how to challenge it or not.
That play is now under review.
So they look at this. It's close, but I feel like it's a catch. They pulled it a catch. We'll check
and Lions head coach gets challenged.
When I talked
The key is the ball does touch the ground. What they ruled is that Jefferson did not have control when it hit the ground. It's really close. We always talk about that 50 guys in a bar standard. To me, it's like 42 right now. Maybe it's like 42-8, not quite 50-0.
Yeah, you see Jefferson's reaction. I don't see enough to overturn that, but they did. So the Lions win the challenge. That means they still have 2 remaining for the game, and they save a timeout. And they get it back. It's 4th and 7.
We should put 50 guys in a bar team on this side.
Maybe that's how we do it. We actually, at this point, just go to the 50. They can raise their hands, and we count it out.
They love volunteers for that.
That's who picks up the 10. The Lions get it back. They'll take the 10. Tackled immediately, and they'll take over inside their own 10. Fox Sports proudly partners with the Travis Manion Foundation to invest in veterans and families of the fallen to lead and serve in their communities. Visit travismanion.org to learn more. Well, Dan Skipper is coming on out. Guess that means you're going to be in a jumbo formation. Trying to get this run game going here. They got 27 yards on the ground. 3 3-and-outs on 3 straight drives. That hasn't happened in a couple years. This is a team that rushes for 135 yards a game, so it's a big storyline against the Vikings defense that has gotten gashed so far on the ground. Not today. And David Montgomery in there. They just see a boost on that drive in the first half when they scored a touchdown.
15. What's that?
They try to get at Montgomery. It was really well played by Eric Wilson.
Both guys on both sides of the ball were trying to figure out what was going on. Just, again, no real rhythm. And again, it starts with that run game too, KB, that they have not been able to establish. And when you don't establish the run game, well then you don't establish the play-action game. Then you get into these longer yardage situations, and that's when it's challenging in protection.
Four-man rush this time. Gets ready to put Montgomery is bumped in the backfield, and then gang tackle. Eric Wilson again. The longtime veteran was in Green Bay for a couple of years, and back here in Minnesota in 2020, so he's returned home, and he's been a steady veteran player for them.
Yeah, Coach Forrest praised him, said, I wish he was a 26-year-old Eric Wilson, but he's come in here and done everything we've asked, such a student of the game. What a pleasant surprise, and he's just on the field as often as they can get him. He's got some of these hybrid-type players that are doing a good job blitzing, covering, swarming to the ball today. It is exactly the way Coach Forrest wanted to go.
Would you believe this? The Lions have not converted a single third and longer than 10 all year. Here's Montgomery going to try to run for it.
Oh, yes, he got it. Smith fumbled, got the ball, and he fumbled it.
Montgomery in the open space, and the one guy you don't find is the guy from behind on the punch out. It takes so little pressure. That ball is not high and tight. And what a play by Cashman coming from behind. The effort. Look at
Harrison Smith.
Physicality, the effort to track that ball down. Great team defense. They needed this spark. They needed to win on defense. They got to make the plays on offense when they get the opportunities. They've answered the bell. I love about these division opponent games. There's no fear on each side. You go in there and you play your hearts out.
First turnover of the game. Now the Vikings with great field position. But again, no Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason trying to make things happen. Good run from Mason. He's going to pick up 7 on first down. I'll tell you, if you're a Vikings fan, you're watching this, and they've had Carson Wentz in for a while, and the defense has gotten gashed. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, this is the team, the talented team you thought they could be.
Yeah, they are doing a great job in the run game today. Jones, 78 yards. Mason, again, that was probably his best carry of the day. But you can control it on in the run game. And JJ's only completed 11 of 20 for 106. They have relied on this, and the defense has been phenomenal today. Great complementary style of football today from this Vikings team.
Looks for the secondary. The 6 away, and it's down to the 10. It's Addison who corrals it.
He got the first down, yeah.
This is the one route I've seen J.J. McCarthy throw so decisively all season long is this deep bench route. We called it a bow route or a bench route. You down the field, pushing really hard for 15 yards, and then you snap it off right to the sideline, and it doesn't give Arnold, the defensive back, a chance to break it.
I'll tell you what, if you need a 101-mile-an-hour beer, he's got it. He can sit. Vikings first and goal. Mason snapped up on Montgomery. Punch there. The second down. Kevin O'Connell looking to dial it up in the red zone.
Kevin O'Connell made a great point to us, KB. Said they think they win the physicality battle walking off the bus. They're not winning that. We're going to go in there, we're going to play physical. And we've seen that today. He's very happy with what he's seen from his offensive line in the run game and his defensive line in dominating a really talented Detroit offensive line.
That's Hopkins in motion. He's got a touchdown catch today. McCarthy plants in trouble. Just kind of trying to throw it away in the area of Hopkins. But a heavy pressure from Aiden Hutchinson again. And here comes third down.
That was such good defense. I just love that defensive style. They get a little pressure. They try to run some crossing routes down the field and they pass them off. A lot of times you think, those are layups.
And Justin sat down on the field here. And so that's why there's a stoppage in play. Obviously, that is hugely important. A superstar receiver for Minnesota. Jefferson today, 5 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Did not see what happened at the very end of that play. We'll take a look and have an injury timeout. Vikings on the doorstep. Back after this. For Minnesota, the longtime Viking went to Carolina, back in there now, bottom of your screen. But he's reliable in the red zone. McCarthy. In trouble again.
Blitz.
Looking.
He's going for it in the end zone to touchdown. Yes.
Second rushing touchdown of the year. He's got the little gritty from Justin Jefferson.
They play man coverage, and what you can't account for in man coverage is scramble by the quarterback, and they miss the contain touch on the up and under, and then you're just outside of the pocket. There's nobody to stop him. Anzalone trying to come up, but too much space with the athletic quarterback, and the easiest way for a young quarterback to get the ball in the end zone on 3rd and 8 is to run it in himself, and they basically invited that with that defense.
Wow. J.J. McCarthy. A 3-touchdown day, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. All came because of the turnover that Harrison Smith recovered, and Minnesota with a 24-14 lead here in the 3rd. Celebration here. Justin Jefferson respecting his young quarterback. I'll tell you what, it's only the 3rd game J.J. McCarthy has played in the pros, right? And I know we were looking for him to show certain things today, but he looks great. You know, people said he had the one good quarter against Chicago. Yeah. He's done a lot well today. I know you've been impressed.
He's doing a lot that we can actually see on when the ball snaps. He's doing a lot before the snap. And I think that tells me that Kevin O'Connell's putting a lot of trust in him to get you in and out of the right plays. That last play on the scramble for the touchdown, that's pretty easy for him. He's been doing that since high school. The harder things are getting the play in the huddle, getting the operation right, getting us into the right play, handling the protection schemes, and then making accurate throws. Outside of the one throw where he threw it behind Naylor on the interception, there's so many positives from what I've seen here today. Accurate throws, good decisions, good times to throw the ball away. Definitely giving this team the spark that it needed coming into a very tough place to play.
Yeah, no doubt. The crowd kind of stunned that the Vikings go up by 10. Sandler's going to take it off. Across the 30, good return. At the 40, good field position there. Okay, break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Packers fans also stunned here. Packers, who have the best record in the NFC, hosting the Panthers. Bryce Young to Rico Dowdle for his 2nd touchdown of the day. Missed extra point, but Panthers on top, 13-6 on the road. Yes.
Dowdle's got the most rushing yards in the league the last month. I mean, Tua Hubbard got hurt, and he's going off. It's unbelievable. How about that score? I think a lot of Lions and Vikings fans can actually agree they like the result there. Here is Cobb, pressure again, and again, it goes down.
Yes, sack.
And we have an injured Lion down on the turf. looks like Taylor Decker, the left tackle.
Yikes. Man.
So the Vikings get a big sack from Hargrave, and now concern for Decker. Injury timeout here in Detroit.
We have an injury timeout.
Bernard. And that's him just leaving to get checked out, so we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Dan Skipper is coming to play left tackle. Hard to miss him at 6'9". Pressure on Cam. Perfect throw out in the right. St. Brown is going to pick up a big chunk of that. They're going to mark him down at the 46. It'll be a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, they needed that. They got inside pressure, the same one we've shown you a few times today. And Goff stood in the pocket, better protection, and then found his #1 blitz beater, Amon Ra, running across the field.
More pressure. Down quick throw. That's going to be the first down. Clark Wright, the backup tight end who delivers. And finally, a little momentum for this Lions offense, getting a couple first downs going.
Yeah, they got to get the crowd into it a little bit. Give this crowd a little juice. They haven't had much to cheer about today. They just kind of see this offense under fire. In the run game, they haven't gained much. In the pass game, all these blitzes that really affected Goff. And I think these blitzes early have affected Goff. Now Goff, before he's even throwing, thinks, oh my God, I got to get rid of this ball really quickly, which is not the headspace you want to be in for a quarterback. What 80 was that? Between the pass and the top of the numbers, receiver pass, he knows the ball's on its way, and Smith caught out in the middle of the field to make a contested catch.
You think about the last time these teams played here, it was, of course, that Week 18 game last year for the division and the #1 seed, and Detroit ended up running away from it in the second half. Jahmyr Gibbs had 4 touchdowns in that game. He's got 20 total yards in this game. What a difference. This would be penalty here. Might be moving.
Ooh, too much time. Oh, he jumped too early.
And I think the challenge for the quarterback is when you feel the pressure early in the game, let's call it the first quarter, and you're not dialed in on your blitz pickup, where they're running those cross blitzes and you're getting hit. As the game wears on, now that mental space is taken up. And now you're like, okay, every time we call a pass, someone's going to be in the pocket really quickly. I got to throw the ball as soon as I get it, and then you miss some of the plays down the field. It's unsettling the entire day. I think that's exactly what Flores was trying to do coming into the game, and he's accomplished that.
Right,
jump too early. They settle the game down to their run game and some high percentage passes to get back to their turns.
The Vikings have done a great job. Their best of the year. I mean, you think about, they got absolutely gassed by the Chargers last week in the run game, right? They let up 207 rushing yards in that game, and this has been a complete role reversal today. The Lions have 40 yards rushing. They're under 3 yards a carry.
A few timely blitzes by Coach Flores' defense, but more just physicality. Playing things a bit more straight up, making sure they set the edge. Knowing the threats in the backfield, Gibbs and Montgomery, that the Lions offense presents them, they have answered the challenge. Was it?
Another flag.
Can't have Canadian football with 2 guys in motion.
No, that's probably why.
St. Brown when he motions, Laporta, both just not on the same page.
Both by the offense. Illegal shift as 2 players were moving and did not reset. That penalty's declined. Holding on the offense.
Yeah.
Too many penalties, very frustrating for Coach Campbell. He was expecting so much better coming out of this bye week. He said, our best football's ahead of us. We've got a few things we need to clean up. What they haven't cleaned up is their 3rd down package, which has been a bit of a struggle today. And I've just always seen this team protect so much better. And protecting for Goff is what makes it so important. With Ratledge there,
I was going to say, what's one thing about Detroit, they're so disciplined. They're 4th fewest penalties in the league, and today, really unlike them. 7 penalties now, all big balls. Just, I don't know, little rust coming off the bye. Here's Goff to throw. Quick throw in the middle, and catch is made. He's inside the 35, down to 34. Long way to go, though, on third down.
He's been very dependable for him. Just a big body. It doesn't matter if he's on a corner or not. Laporta's a big target. Dan Campbell absolutely loves him, thinks he's one of the most improved players since the start of the season. Not because of his pass catching, but his run blocking as well.
Yeah.
And that's when you want these tight ends to be able to do both, because then whenever they're out there, how's the defense going to treat him? More like a run blocker, more like a receiver? You get a lot of advantageous matchups right where you want to
Jamison Williams on a 3rd and 14. He danced around Isaiah Rodgers, and it's a first down.
They bring all that pressure. Goff sees it. And Williams misses. Mix. Rodgers missed here on the outside. Goff one-on-one right away. Throws an absolute strike. That's a one. That's a fastball. Yamamoto fastball right there from last night. You start finding that decisiveness and that rhythm. That's tough for this defense.
Here's Goff in the middle. A noticeable effort to try and get Jamison Williams involved. It was interesting this week. John Morton, the offensive coordinator, said, "Sorry, I failed you," which was obviously pretty harsh. I mean, there's so many good players. Everyone can't get the ball all the time, but Williams has been very quiet this year. Only 17 total catches coming into today. You see today, 4 targets, 3 catches, 29 yards. But Dan Campbell said you think of him because he's got the home run ball. Some of his best stuff are the short passes that he turns into big plays, like he just did. Here's Gibbs. Strung outside by Rodgers, but gives him a nice little run, gets around Eric Wilson. He'll pick up 5.
Now Wilson on the run through forces that shallow cut to the outside and just strings him out enough. And instead of a massive gain, ends up being just a 4-yard gain. Very good run defense. Linebackers kind of knowing when to take shots on those run throughs. It's just all feel like such hard-earned yards today. 26. Who's not the biggest frame, but you got to square him up and you got to build a wall. It can't be like an open door where you just try to hit him with your left shoulder. You got to hit him right square in the middle of the chest to try to slow his momentum. Not great technique by Gibbs, but a great effort in pass rush. Another win for the Vikings defense.
Aaron's Bates, 41 yards up and 2. The Lions get on the board, make it a 7-point game. Second sack of the day from Eric Wilson, though it halts that drive, but Lions will take the 3 points with 11 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. Hey, Fox College Football Friday. To the lights in prime time this week. 23rd ranked USC and the nation's most electrifying offense against Northwestern. Friday night, 9 Eastern on Fox. So finally the Lions get something going there, but you know, I guess maybe we're spoiled because you watch them and so many things look easy.
Definitely, Kev.
Today nothing has been easy, Tom.
Big challenge, and they haven't really been in because of the protection issues. We always talk about this team being so good at 50-50 run-pass balance, but they haven't been able to run it great. So therefore, it's been more just drop-back pass and these cross blitzes on the inside of these max pressures that force Goff to feel the heat. And he hasn't quite set his feet and made those accurate passes like he's done all season long. Yeah, it's the challenge. You play division opponents. They know you so well. There's no intimidation. They know they can win. You got to show up every single game against these guys because there's no fear factor.
Here's Price.
He's going for it. Got penalty flag. I think the penalty's going to be called against Minnesota.
He's like, oh man, I hope this stands. Hit a a 61-yard return to set Minnesota up earlier. This one for 99 if it holds.
Here's the return. Holding. Number 37 of the receiving team. 2-yard penalty for the start of the foul. It's first down and 10 for Minnesota.
Tabari Thomas.
At the end of the third quarter.
Miles' price has got to be, man, 99 yards for nothing. They get Javier Thomas on the penalty. But Vikings football, and they're up by 7 as we head to the fourth quarter.
There. The back judge just sees a little of that blue jersey being tugged, and that nullifies an incredible return.
I'll tell you, places have a bunch of returns called back for penalties this year, too. It's really been able to find out there. So instead of a touchdown, the Vikings will take over McCarthy as Jefferson's back in the game. Makes an immediate touchdown across the 30. He goes, and now the Lion is hurt. Amik Robertson is down on this play. Lions got a bunch of guys getting banged up in this game. Robertson has played exceptionally well, too. He's been in there since DJ Reed, the big free agent signing, went out to the IR with a hamstring injury.
I give Deshae Townsend a lot of credit, their defensive back coach. I saw him in the pregame, a guy in the Steelers I played against for a long time. I said, hey, even with all these guys going down by injury, you still step up. And regardless, you play this physical man style. I said, Tommy, that's what we're all about. That's what we got to do. And we coach that from the day these guys come in. Regardless of Justin Jefferson or anyone else.
There is Mason. Mason charging for well, this is kind of a problem now because Terry Arnold is out. He's questionable with the back. Now he just went out. So now the starting corners are out. So Nick Whiteside, first-year player, is in. So the Lions depleted in the secondary. And Kirby Joseph, remember, didn't start because he's been out with a knee injury. Inexperience back there right now. Rock Yassin is in there with Nick Whiteside, and now Robertson comes back in. So that's good news.
We need their pass rushers. Lee McNeil is back from injury. Hutchinson, this is where they got to make an impact in the game. Third down passing situations at home. They got to tee off.
Gets away, taken down. Got away for a minute, but Aiden Hutchinson.
Good goal for field goal.
Campbell under pressure. One-on-one with Mason. More poor blitz pickup. McCarthy has no chance but to try to escape out of the back of the pocket. Hutchinson with one of the easier sacks of his career. I think he got his pinky nail on him right there, but that counts for 1.0 in the stat column.
He and Campbell have been terrors with the pressures today. Here is the punch. Hanging way back there, and out of bounds he goes. And there's a penalty that comes in at the end of this play as well. Without a hat, that usually means that someone was out of bounds and didn't try to get back in.
Sportsmanlike conduct by the kicking team, number 37.
Yeah,
First down and 10 Detroit. Timeout.
that's back-to-back special teams penalties on Javier Thomas. Well, Aiden Hutchinson and the D makes a stand. Now it's time for the Lions offense to get it back. They're down by 7. Fourth quarter. And there's a penalty that comes in at the end of this play as well.
Yeah, no penalty flag.
You'll see an official without a hat. That usually means that someone was out of bounds and didn't try to get back in.
Sportsmanlike conduct by the kicking team, number 37.
Yeah,
First down and 10 Detroit. Timeout.
that's back back-to-back special teams.
Boy Thomas again.
Blaine Hutchinson and the D makes a stand. Now it's time for the Lions offense. They'll get it back. They're down by 7. A little fourth quarter fun at Ford Field.
Take one, defender.
Gets it up the middle. Good strong run from Montgomery. Here's a quick 11 right up to get from Montgomery. He's got a touchdown run today and a first down there.
Oh, yeah. Let's get rid of the finesse and let's get physical. Let's get downhill, toss it to them, right down their teeth. That's what they got to do. Be physical up front, put their big back Monty in there, get him to lean on them, see if they can take control of this physical advantage. The Vikings got over there.
I didn't know you're going to start singing like Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical, let's go. Right side. Hey, that's pretty good.
Was it?
I thought so.
On tour.
By the way, Taylor Decker back in the game. Big news, their left tackle. We saw him go off with that knee injury, so having him back on the left side is a good deal for Detroit.
Certainly a good deal with Decker. Sewell allows Goff a lot of confidence knowing that his left tackle's out there. It's very disheartening when you're a quarterback and you know the third tackle's in the game, certainly on the left side.
It's not. Good kill. Good kill. 51.
Give me a third down and short as Blake Cashman is there. Tom, Blake Cashman and Eric Wilson have had really great days at linebacker. In fact, they've got 10 pressures too. That's the most from any linebacker group in the league this year.
Great job in physicality. You see Goff say kill, meaning he saw a too high shell, he wanted to run it. But what the Vikings are determined to do is say, stay back there in too high. We got to guard Amon-Ra, we got to guard Williams. You guys got to handle the run, and they've handled it today. Getting up there, knocking off blocks, so impressive.
Montgomery again, right side. Here's him on Andrew Van Ginkel. Calls him down.
Wow. They had everybody at the line of scrimmage. Similar when Montgomery fumbled, they decided to run it, thinking, okay, rather than deal with all the pass protection issues, let's hand it off. They had a little space to the outside, but Van Ginkel defeats a block. Critical fourth down opportunity.
Fourth down lines are going to go. Remember, they scored 2 touchdowns on fourth downs here today.
Let's go to guy.
Here's Goff. Pressure picked up. Goff over the middle. He's got it. It's on the point. Still going and finally hauled down. He had the 40-yard touchdown on fourth down earlier. He converts there to keep the drive going.
Great job, zone coverage, and the protection allows LaPorta to get all the way across the field to find the open space. It wasn't there early, but because the protection held up, he gets to the second window. And watch Montgomery, different than Gibbs. Squares him up, face mask to face mask. That is textbook teach tape right there.
They've replaced, I think, Tate Ratledge on the right side with Coyote Awashika. I don't know if it's an injury or just a change of scenery. Here's Montgomery. Going to run that way, and there's not much there. We've got a game break. Back to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kev. Broncos going for their 6th straight win, trailing the Texans by 8. Bo Nix will hit R.J. Harvey for this 27-yard score. They added a 2-point conversion. We're all tied at 15, but should be noted earlier in the game, C.J. Stroud went out with a concussion. Kev.
Definitely keep an eye on that. Broncos trying for the 6th straight win. It'll be the first time in 10 years. And let's check the penalty here.
Oh, we got a penalty flag.
Legal block in the back. Offense.
Yes!
2-yard penalty. Replay first down. Correction number 1.
I'd be confused. Who's 10?
Maybe he's number 1. That's who he is.
Jameson Williams going in there from the outside on Metellus. A little tight there. Slightly on the back. You do tell the receiver.
Jameson Williams got illegal block in the back.
Outside in, you can't go low, but you can't hit the number. It looked like you got him right on the left number in the back.
Gibbs replaces Montgomery in the backfield. Here's Goff. Pressure from Bernard. Gets it off. Going deep. Got a feel for him and run it. That's incomplete. We get another penalty. Back by the quarterback. This may be a hold.
Another penalty flag.
Holding. Offensive.
Yes!
Decker back here on Bernard, the pass rusher, who's had a tremendous season. Scraps him around.
Taylor Decker got holding penalty.
Good call there by the official. Maybe hobbled a little bit by that injury getting fell on. Again, Bernard's had such a great season. Great burst, get off, puts pressure on all these tackles to be in perfect position. If you're not, he takes advantage. Tom is right here at the bottom of the screen.
There you go. Lions tied for the most penalties they've had all year. Here's St. Brown down to 30. As we go downstairs to Aaron Andrews.
Well, we've talked about injuries and penalties on this Lions offensive line. You mentioned the change at right guard, Tate Ratledge. He was on the bench getting his elbow looked at. He's now back in the locker room, Kev. So a lot of moving around on this front for the Lions.
Oh, wow. Good call, Aaron. Yes, we saw Awashika come in. Didn't see Ratledge go up, but Aaron tells us that he indeed did. So Detner's been banged up. Ratledge banged up, and they're having a tough time with this Minnesota front and blitzes today.
Just see all those defenders out here. There's so much indecision for Goff. He's trying to go through multiple cadences to figure out how to deploy his blockers.
Pressure, Goff. St. Brown makes a catch, but not a first down. And so it's going to be a fourth down at about 5. And looks like we're thinking of it now. St. Brown is down. Players hit the turf in the second half. Hopefully he's okay.
Went up there to high point that catch. Terrific catch. Kind of Goff under a little bit of pressure. Ball fluttered coming out. Puts himself in position to go for it here on 4th and 5. Just a curl route. Come right back to the ball. Elevate a little bit. Murphy, good coverage.
Well, they're going to check on St. Brown, and obviously you hope he's okay. He is so outstanding. It'll bring up a 4th and 5. The Lions have gone for it 3 times, converted all 3 on 4th. And that's good to see. The trick is here, though. Gonna have to sit out of play. Yeah, on 4th down and 5, not having him is pretty enormous, unless the Lions want to call a timeout. So this is a big deal. Lions so good on 4th down all the time. 3 for 3 today, including 1 on this drive, and now a 4th and 5 down by 7 here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, the go-to receiver once St. Brown comes out is Laporte, the tight end.
Isaac Tesla checks in for him, the rookie. He's a big body with great hands, and there's Laporte.
It's not a kill.
A lot of pressure, probably going up top.
He jumped. It's a false start. Jonathan Guido jumped too early.
Hard inflection. Bernard trying to get off. And a great jump, and he knows it. It's a bit of an abrupt move by Goff to do that. I've been warned plenty of times in my career about being too aggressive on certainly the hand motions.
Is not eligible to return because we do not have a legal snap. He's got to sit out one more play.
Yeah, so Allen tried to come back, but because there's a penalty, there's no snap. He's still got a way to play, but that's okay. They got the first down, so you can way to play. And so Tesla will stay in there.
This is the hand block at 8-11.
That's pretty good cadence work by Goff, though. That is
very good.
I mean, why go run a play if you don't have to? And it converts on a 4th and 5.
When you use that type of inflection, a lot of times you get your guys offside. I was always so hesitant to use that really hard cadence because I was worried about going from 4th and 5 to 4th and 10. But tremendous confidence. They must work on it a lot. It's really a weapon for them in this game.
Montgomery in the game at running back. Two Lions in the area pretty good. And now Mahogany is down, so all kinds of linemen getting hurt for Detroit. He's the left guard. Goodness.
Looks like we got injury timeouts.
Had a tough time and got him up, and they had to get the card to bring him off. And let's hope it's nothing crazy serious there. He kind of whipped his leg. Watch 73 here, right there. Ouch. And it's not too dissimilar to what Aiden Hutchinson did. Hopefully not the same result, obviously, in Dallas, but that's kind of how it happened. No air cast or anything on the leg, so hopefully it's nothing too serious, but he gets carted off. Meanwhile, Tate Ratledge is back out of the locker room, so he's back at right guard, and they move Coyote Awashika to left guard. Moving past the Rams. Here is Gibbs. So there's so many moving parts with his offensive line in the second half.
And you probably don't notice as many moving parts in the run game as you as the pass game, KB. Because the running game, they're all going forward. They can be really aggressive on their blocks. It's the pass game. It's all those little interior pressures from the off-ball linebackers, or those stunts. We call them TEs or ETs. But the two defensive players on one side of the ball where they're looping to try to create some pressure. That's where the continuity, if you don't have an offense, really shows up.
Yeah, especially against this defensive blitz scheme they face here today. 3rd and 9. And a penalty. It's been a game that's had a lot of runs. Again, it's
now we got false starts.
High on them.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Again, this is the 4th fewest penalized team in the league. This is so unlike them.
Yeah, they all feel a little bit rattled.
Duckler jumped too early.
Down to the play caller. Not getting quite a handle on these pressures.
Taylor Duckler again.
Shoveling.
3rd and 14 now, down by 7. Got to get inside the clock. It's only 4-man rush. Is Jalen Redmond. His 4th sack for him, a career high, and another one for the Vikings, their 5th.
Redmond right here on Ratledge. And he just kind of cleans it up. He gets a little picked by Van Ginkel into Sewell. And as Goff tries to see, just by moving slightly over in the pocket to get vision, he ends up running into a sack.
5 sacks for the Vikings here today. And it'll set up Jake Bates for a 45-yard try.
Oh, blocked, yes.
Right in the middle of their punt rush. Runs right through the A-gap, right over the center. Oh no, it's Williams. Great job getting up. Just all that effort. Right through the A-gap. Rogers on the spot. Tremendous play by their special teams unit all day today. The return game's giving them juice. The field goal block team's giving them juice. That's how you're able to come in here and compete against the class of the NFC East, winning it in multiple phases.
What a turn of events. Isaiah Rogers made some big plays for this team this year. So now they're taking it on over. A little flip to Mason, trying to get him to the outside. Walks his way down around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, very quiet in here. A lot of the air let out of this building with that kick. That was going to get you to a 4-point game instead. Opportunity here for Minnesota with a few good plays to make it a 2-score game. Touchdown would be somewhat devastating with such short time left here in the game. They really got to buckle down. Force changing the parking and makes it for throws.
Yes. We got penalty flag.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Here's Jackson on the left side of the screen. Where is he? Right here. Yep.
Donovan Jackson got holding penalty.
Anticipating McCarthy to run. He actually thinks he's doing a great job blocking Hutchinson. And he takes off. And it's just a fine line. It's not like you just gotta let him go, but he thinks he's got him hemmed up in pass protection. He's not thinking that JJ's taking off through the middle of the defense.
Second and 15. They come near side. Jet sweep.
Got the first down, yes.
He's got a first down. 16-yard gain.
Can't tell you how good of a run that was. Addison has 3 unblocked Lions. There's Hutchinson, there's Arnold, there's Harper. Makes all 3 miss. Look at this from this angle. You can see it's all blue jerseys. And that one little cutback gets him the first down. What a run.
4.5 to play. It's Mason, the ground game. Sneaking outside. Mason will stiff it.
Got the first down, yes. Oh, we got penalty flag.
Well, let's see what the flag is, though.
During the run, holding. Defense number 54.
Yeah.
Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Getting on Lee McNeil, defensive tackle. Wait a second.
Wait a second. I don't know every play. You're not supposed to call that. Here's McNeil right here. Taking up 2 blockers. It's hard to see there. But nice job by Mason.
Ali McNeil.
Forcing the corners to make tackles.
Warning is eligible.
Stiff arm on Arnold. I think that's so much for the 49ers last year before his high ankle sprain. 5.5 a carry at some point last year. And it's been a bruiser for this Vikings offense. Certainly with the loss of Jones, it matters so much.
Jumbo formation, 4 Reese's forward, and he's stymied right there. You know, it's interesting. You think about just looking at the score, and the Lions defense has actually played pretty well. The drives for Minnesota, they had the 61-yard kickoff return. They just had a 51-yard return off a block punt. They had the fumble from David Montgomery, so they haven't had long fields to go. But this feels like an absolute must-stop for Detroit. With 4 minutes left, down by 7.
Handoffs to Mason. McCarthy. On the run, McCarthy throwing it in.
The pick earlier makes the play in the starting goal.
Good coverage. I'm just thinking here for Mason. 3 straight times from the 2-yard line. This is a tough throw. Obviously going to the best player, but high level of difficulty. Rolling right. Tight window for Jefferson.
Aaron Jones has reported a shoulder injury a while ago, so it's all Jordan Mason. Right now it's J.J. McCarthy and a 3rd and goal. On the fake, McCarthy looking to take it himself. He's not going to get there.
Field goal for field goal.
Derek Barnes had some help from Al-Qadim Muhammad, and now 4th down, and you would think Minnesota's got to take the field goal, and they will.
Well, yeah, another challenge is on both those plays, 2nd down and 3rd down play. The clock is stopped. Incompletion and then run out of bounds. You could have milked away another minute and 20 from the play clock. Excuse me, from the game clock. And the time is in essence. And again, you're 7-point advantage trying to go up 10. Play doesn't matter that much, but in my mind, leave little doubt. Try to run that time off the clock and use that to an advantage when you get it.
That's a great point. So here's what they're trying to make it a 2.
Made the field goal, yes.
Field goal for him. So it's a 10-point game, but still 3:31 left. All 3 timeouts for Detroit. We take a look at today's next-gen stats powered by AWS. It is the constant pressure on Jared Goff today.
It has been. This is the middle pressure where Gibbs doesn't quite step up. Wilson on the sack. He's been feeling that all day. Then more pressure from the right side. This is a max blitz. You got to know that you can't have that one picked up. This one he should have picked up. But that is just 5 yards behind the center. That's where their bullseye has been all day on this Vikings pass rush. Just meet there. That's where Jared's going to be. If we can attack the middle of the pocket, create a lot of disruption in what he's doing, you're going to force a lot of inaccurate throws and feet that are just moving around. Not the sense of comfort we've seen from him all season long.
AWSAI, how the NFL levels up the game. All right, so Lions have it. They're down 10, 3:31 to go, 3 timeouts. Give me the game plan if you're a quarterback right now.
Well, this is obviously 2-minute drill all the way. You got to try to conserve all 3 timeouts. And I think you got to score within the 2-minute warning. So this is an all-out pace to try to get some points on the board before the 2-minute warning without using any of your timeout. Okay. So no short completions in bounds. At some point, you got to just hit some in cuts. You got to hit some ones on the sideline throws where you can step out of bounds. But I'm actually very concerned with the pass protection. That's one area that they have not done a good job of today. Let's see how this Lions offensive line responds to known pass situations.
He's bounced up back to 30. Okay, next Sunday, a big Fox NFL doubleheader starts with Jackson Dart and the Giants taking on Caleb Williams and the Bears for other regional action. And then, America's Game of the Week will be in D.C. Jared Goff and the Lions battling Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. So we'll see the Rams and the Niners. Check local listings and teams in your area only on Fox. Packers lost that game to Carolina at Lambeau. What a win for Carolina and Dave Canales. And meanwhile, Vikings and Lions fans are rejoicing. But now, Detroit down by 10. 3:23 left, all 3 timeouts. Here's Goff. Quick throw, time to run to Amon St. Brown. Picks up 4.
Yeah, those are the ones you don't want to have if you're Jared Goff. Short completions over the middle, gain 5-6 yards, but time is more important than short completions. He just hasn't had much time to survey things down the field.
This is picked up. Good throw. St. Brown's got it into Vikings territory. He goes.
Keep going, stay. You don't need to clock it. Don't need to use your timeouts. Something out of bounds would be great. Would be great here. You see, they're defending a little bit to the outside, so you can hit that seam right up the middle.
That was a heck of a play by Isaiah Rodgers to keep him in bounds, and now St. Brown is dinged.
Got him in there again. 30 seconds left before the 2-minute warning. Got to go fast. Trying to get him lined up. There's Laws over there. The rookie on the top of the screen.
Gibbs gets the first down, but time is ticking now. And they're just going to let it go. Oh, boy, there's confusion here. Haven't done that either. They're not there. He was just short of a first down, so they didn't even get it. Let's go to 2 minutes.
And we reached the 2-minute warning.
And special teams, a couple good returns, a blocked field goal to set up their last field goal. Lions need this. For Jameson Williams. Touchdown, now they're going to say down at the 2. They're going to mark him down at the 2. Whoa!
Yeah, probably review. His left foot may have stepped out of bounds at the 3-4 yard line.
I'm not sure he did. Let's see.
Right. No!
Incredible. Wow. What balance from Jameson Williams. Nope, he's in. He's in all day. That is a touchdown.
Great throw by Goff. Finding the one-on-one downfield to Williams. They knew they needed to get him more integrated into the offense after the bye week.
Ruling has been changed to a touchdown.
One-on-one with Rodgers. Goff throws it. Throws to his explosive receiver when they need it most. They maintain all 3 of their timeouts and score on a home run ball. They are right in the mix.
Well, done just yet, are we? And your point by not using a timeout, now they don't have to kick an onside kick. They can kick it away and play defense.
This is the game clock of 155, 155.
To Jamison Williams. His third touchdown of the year, and that is a biggie. 4 for 66 for him today.
All three of their timeouts and score on a home run ball. They are right in the mix.
Jamison Williams got touchdown.
Your point by not using a timeout. Now they don't have to kick an onside kick. They can kick it away and play defense.
This is the game clock of 155, 155.
To Jamison Williams. His third touchdown of the year, and that is a biggie. 4 for 66 for him today. 37 yards out on that one, and much needed and timely indeed. And now it's Bates to make it a 3-point game. Kick is up and good. Well, listen, this would be a tie game if not for this. This blocked field goal by Elijah Williams and the Vikings. Drake Rodriguez also got a hand on it, and then Isaiah Rodgers picked it up and ran it back 51 yards. Otherwise, we're tied. That's the difference in the game right now. But still, a lot of time. 1:55 to go, 3 timeouts, so the Lions can play defense. And as much as we've talked about J.J. McCarthy, how well he's played today, what a great job he's done. Well, guess what, kid? It's not over yet. You got to get another first down to win this game.
That's what it's about. Going on the road, division opponents, that QB1's got to step up and lead the team. They've got to make some decisive throws here because they're going to be loaded up to stop the run. Now he's got to find his open guy, make accurate throws when the pressure mounts. Is what you see what these young quarterbacks are made of. How do they handle the pressure? How do they handle these big-time environments? This is one of them. There's going to be a lot to see here today.
You know, to your, 2 minutes. Sorry, to your point, you know, down at the goal line there, Minnesota stopped the clock 2 consecutive plays. You know, there could be 50 seconds left in this game right now. Such an excellent point by you. So now the play calling choices are going to be fascinating.
Yeah, and sometimes I just think you got to make the smart decisions, and I always expect, you know, someone like KOC to do that. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. A former teammate of mine was so on top of things in that situation. I would have loved to see 2 run plays, even if you don't get it in. That clock is not the opponent's friend.
Here's Price. And he has stopped just across his way. All right, a lot has happened this game. It's been a good one. Division rivals here. And here it is. J.J. McCarthy, watch this. One-handed by Justin Jefferson. And then Montgomery with a big fumble. Harrison Smith recovered. They will go on to score here on McCarthy's run. And then his block field goal, the biggest play of the game to boot. Isaiah Rodgers picked it up, ran it back. 51 yards, and settled for a field goal. This throw just moments ago. It's a 3-point game. Minnesota ball, 3 timeouts for Detroit. He made it 4 yards out of that thing. Could have lost 5.
Wow, Mason went the wrong way. He opened right. And the handoff is coming to the left behind these double team blocks. McCarthy, incredible job. Imagine if they did give it to Mason. That was a wide open hole. That would have gained at least 10 yards. Very fortunate, the Lions have a miscommunication.
Vikings under Kevin O'Connell have been the best in one-score games, but this year a little bit more trouble, just 2-2. All comes out of this.
J.J. McCarthy, the easiest thing to have him do is use his legs. They want to keep him at least in the pocket to deliver an accurate throw.
We got the first down. Yes.
Naylor on the left. They run basically a pick rub. Enough space to the outside part of the field. And the second-year quarterback, when they need him the most, that's the two ball. The little accuracy over the top with the little touch. Right into the hands of Naylor. What a throw. Oh, yeah, big fella. That's it. That's how you lead your team to victory.
That will win it. The Lions can stop
The counts to win either way. Yeah.
It's all going to be for naught. How about that? Third down guts, having your young quarterback in his third start in the league. A 16-yard dot to Jalen Naylor, who, by the way, first catch of the day.
First catch of the day at the biggest moment. McCarthy, KOC putting him in that position, too. In that number 3 spot where you can get that little rub from Jefferson and Addison. And that's just a no-fear throw. One-on-one, my guy's better than your guy. I'm going to put in a great position for you to turn back and make a catch. And he made a perfect throw.